All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Nick Poulakidas Elementary School. I'd like to thank you all for being here today. It really means a lot to all of us at the Washoe County School District. Despite what your program says, I am not Katie Simon Holland. I am Malena Raymond, the Vice President of the Washoe County School District Board of Trustees. Unfortunately, our board president, Katie Simon Holland, couldn't be here, but she does send her regrets, and I know she really wanted to be here, had hoped to take a turn in a stomach bug that she has to make it, but just couldn't get away. So I'd like you all now to please stand for the national anthem performed by the 5th graders from Nick Poulakidas Elementary School under the direction of Mrs. Stephanie Harns. Wonderful job, guys. That was great. And they've only had 4 weeks to practice. I mean, just amazing. So thank you again. This really is a wonderful, happy, fun day for us. We're here to share the beginning of this new elementary school with all of you, to thank you, and to celebrate the milestone of our work to relieve overcrowding. I'd like to acknowledge and introduce my fellow trustee who has joined us today and ask him to stand, Trustee Scott Kelly, who represents this area and this school. And I'd like to also introduce a few other elected officials who have joined us today. Our state senator, Senator Ben Kiekeffer. State Assembly members, Mr. Skip Daly, Ms. Jill Tolles, Lisa Krasner, and Greg Smith. I believe from the Washoe County Commission we have Bob Lucy. No. And from the Spark City Council we have Christopher Dare. Oh, and Ed Lawson, I'm sorry, in the back. There we go. Thank you. And we have representatives from Senator Catherine Cortez Masto and Senator Jackie Rosen's office, Carrie Dermick and Nate Helton. All right, well, as is evident by all the kids, this school has already been open to students for just about a month, and we have 2 other new schools that opened up back in August, 2 middle schools. However, today still marks a very important beginning. This is one of these these three schools are new, and not only are they new, but we haven't opened a new school in over 10 years, so it's a big celebration. And this celebration is really thanks to the voters and the ballot question that passed less than 3 years ago. Since then, we have obviously been building this school, but doing so much more as well. We completed an expansion of Damani Ranch High School just down the way, which created more space for the children that will end up there in the future. We are working on Marcy Hers Middle School over in the Arrow Creek area, which is under construction and will open next year. And that will allow for some rezoning, which will create more space at DePoli Middle School. Additionally, we have another elementary school site very near here at Rio Wrangler, where we will be building in the upcoming years. And we know that this building is already in need. Our this new elementary school behind me is already full, and we already need a new school to help relieve the overcrowding here. And the growth is continuing. And we're just so fortunate to finally have funding to allow the district to keep up with that growth. But it's not just the new schools that are getting some relief. We have also spent approximately $100 million in repairing and upgrading older schools. We have touched just about every school in the district at this point. There are a lot of people that we want to thank today and a few perspectives we'd like to share with you. Each of our speakers will thank a specific person or two, but please know that each speaker and everyone here is thankful to the entire community and everyone who helped us get here. All of that work, the new schools, the repairs, would not have been possible without our beloved PSORN. PSORN stands for Public Schools Overcrowding and Repair Needs Committee. This independent volunteer group that put together the ballot question worked tirelessly to help build these schools and the schools to come. I want to say a special thank you to Josh Hicks, who's joined us today. And he was part of the PSORN committee in his representation of the Retail Association Group of Nevada. The Retail Association Group might not be the first group that you would think of that would support a sales tax increase, but they clearly saw the need for these schools and the importance that they bring to this community. And their support shows how much of a community effort this really was and how badly the funding was needed. Josh, we wouldn't be here without your contribution on the PSORN committee and the support of the Retail Association who you represented. Please come up and say a few words.
Thank you. I very much appreciate the chance to be here today. And I was a member of the committee. There were quite a few members of that committee. We got put together. Really, it started out with a commitment at the legislature to really start funding more schools in this community. And Senator Debbie Smith was a big part of that. And her husband's here today. And she was kind of the brainchild that started the whole committee and the whole idea of how to fund schools. And we put this committee together, and I was very honored to be a member of it, along with many other people. And we represented all different kinds of industries, all different kinds of interests, all different political backgrounds. But everybody was very committed to helping this community out. And it was a great example of how community problems can get solved if community people get together and find a way to do it. We spent many, many hours on that committee debating different options on how to fund schools and the needs for schools. The Washoe County School District staff was phenomenal in how much time and effort and resources they gave to us to come up with something that we thought the community would support in order to build these schools. So I want to say thank you to the community, and it was an honor to be on that committee, all the other members who were on that committee who spent many hours in those meetings. And then to see the fruits of our labors coming up here today is just really fantastic. So that was a great experience. I also want to thank the Save Our Schools Washoe committee, or campaign committee. They ran the ballot question. It's not easy to convince anyone on the ballot to raise taxes, but they did a great job in showing the need for it and how it could be done. I want to just throw a quick shout out to my partner at my law firm, Adam Hosmer at McDonald Carano. He served pro bono and fought off a legal challenge to that could have stopped that ballot question in its tracks, so that was very much appreciated as well. And last but not least, to the school district and the Board of Trustees, they made a lot of promises about building schools, and they kept them. And they got the funding. They said they were ready to build the schools. It happened, and you're seeing it right here. So very well done to the board and the school district, and thank you for having me today.
Thank you so much, Josh. And as I said, we really wouldn't be here without you and so many community supporters fighting for us. As you may not know this, but by law, the school district wasn't actually able to coordinate any type of campaign for this. But we were closely working on supporting whatever we could do, and we saw what they were able to accomplish. They succeeded where so many had failed before, and here we are celebrating this beautiful school. We are also here to celebrate a wonderful man, someone who worked his whole life to support students, teachers, staff, families, and the entire community, Mr. Nick Poulakidas. I'd now like to invite his daughter, Lynn Lagoy, up to say a few words.
On behalf of the family, friends, and supporters of Nick Poulakidas, I'd like to thank everybody that came out today. What a wonderful turnout. I'd especially like to thank the school board, the trustees, and the naming committee for putting together a community-based and equitable and fair naming process. The process was wonderful, and it took many, many months for them to come to this conclusion. It was not an undertaking they took lightly. I'd also like to thank the Sparks City Council for taking the time to name today Nick Poulakidas Day in Sparks. Thank you. I'd like to acknowledge my family members, friends of my father, former teachers, students, staff, VIPs, PTA parents, and for their support along the way in the naming process. Their support with letters, phone calls, votes, and showing up at the meetings is how we got here today. I'd especially like to thank Shirley Birchinger, who was instrumental in garnering support. Additionally, I'd like to thank Riley Sutton. He's the communication director for Washoe County School District, and he was accessible and very professional all throughout the process. And last but not least, Don Angotti, the principal. He's been fabulous at making sure that the family's been incorporated and invited to participate where appropriate. Thank you, Don. The counselor here asked me what he should know about my father in order to tell the parents of the students. And, you know, I covered some of the accomplishments and contributions to the community that my father had made. But one of the things that really struck me, during this process is the number of people that came up to me and said, "Your father changed my life." I didn't know that. To me, he was just Dad. I think what my father was best at was seeing people's strengths and bringing those to the forefront even before they recognized their own strengths. I'd like to see us all take a page from his playbook and look for the positives in each other, instead of inciting the negatives. And I hope together we can create a better future for the students that'll pass through these halls. Because more than anything, it is about the children. Thank you.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much, Lynn, and he certainly won't be forgotten for those very reasons. This school is a brand new model for us, and one that we are currently replicating in Spanish Springs and planning to replicate again and again. So I really encourage you to take a look inside when we're finished up here today. The school was designed by H&K Architects, and I would like to invite you to join me in a round of applause to them for this beautiful design. Is there anyone here from H&K? In the back. Like the two new middle schools that were just completed, this school design is highly energy efficient and uses materials that will last and save us money in the long run. All three schools were built by local contractors, and approximately 90% of the contract value went to local subcontractors. This created hundreds of good local jobs and pumped almost $200 million into our local economy. I could go on and on about how great these schools are, but I suppose I should let someone else speak. I'd like to invite up our wonderful Interim Superintendent, Dr. Kristen McNeill, and she will take it from here.
Thank you so much, Vice President Raymond. Now, isn't this exciting? Yes! Let's rock! This is exciting! This is amazing! I know we're all really hot, but it's still exciting. Today is not just about one building, but how it fits into the other spaces where all of our students learn and grow. This plan was put together for our district-wide needs that led to the building of this school and many more to come. And I believe that the community had faith enough in us to pass the ballot question. There was a clear demonstration of need and a clear plan for how we would address it. That plan took a lot of work to put together, and many, many people contributed to it. However, there was one man who's standing in the back, because he knows this part is coming, who led those efforts more than any others. And I would like to ask for a tremendous round of applause to Mr. Pete Etchart, our COO, one of the most honorable men I have ever had the delight in knowing. And again, he didn't wear his bow tie, but it's kind of warm outside, so I understand. After that plan was put into place, the ballot question passed. That's when the real work started. We hadn't opened a school in a decade, a brand new school in a decade in our district, and there was a huge lift to get ready for this. But it's not just about the structure. It's not just about the building. So much goes into getting the systems and furniture and all of the books and the computers and everything ready for our students. It's really hard to describe. But I want to thank from the bottom of my heart the huge work that our district staff did to put this together. And who came together? We met as a team every 2 weeks to put this plan together in order to open the school on time. And perhaps principal among them, and that is such a bad pun, but it's here in the script, so I have to say it, is a man that I've known. We were principals together, and Don Angotti is one of the most passionate, kind-hearted men I have ever had the honor of working with. When you work with Don Angotti, you are working with a man who truly, absolutely understands what it means, every child by name and face to graduation. Don, please come up.
So thank you, Dr. McNeill, for that awesome introduction there. First and foremost, it's just a thrill to be the first principal here at Poulakidas Elementary School and to see such a great turnout. Throughout this entire process, it's been a wonderful experience for me to work with different departments through our district. I just wanted to point out and recognize some of those folks today. Obviously putting together a building and what goes inside of the building and outside of it takes a tremendous amount of power. So our capital projects team that I work directly with, Adam Searcy, Tammy Zimmerman, Tony McMillan, Norm Engerbitson, Lindsay Trelia, thank you very much for all you've done to make it a successful rollout for us here at Poulakidas Elementary. I mentioned earlier Q&D construction. It was awesome for me as a principal to be able to sit in meetings and planning meetings for the year before our school opened to begin getting the layout of the school and start providing some of the direction and the vision that I had for the school, but working with our capital projects folks as well as the architect and the construction with Q&D to be able to roll this out successfully for our staff and for our students as well. I also want to take a moment to thank Toll Brothers. They're our partner in education. Toll Brothers provided the land for our school to be built upon, as well as the equipment rental that we have here today, as well as some of the food for the ceremony. So thank you to Toll Brothers, who's a great partner in education with us here at Nick Poulakidas as well. Also, I want to take a moment to thank all of our Poulakidas staff. Thanks for wearing your blue shirts today. Nice job. Our parents and students and community members for a fantastic start to the school year. Anytime you're opening a brand new school, there's a lot of new to the building, a lot of new students coming in from different schools, putting that all together to build the climate and culture here at Poulakidas. So just know that the parents that are in the audience, your children are in great hands with this staff. Community members, it's been fantastic being able to work with all of you through the naming of the mascot, to the school colors, through our PTO representatives, which you'll have a chance to hear from them momentarily, as well as one of our parents who's also a staff member here as well. It's exciting because our school has a lot of different aspects to it that a lot of our elementary schools don't have, and I'm hopeful that you'll have a chance later today at the end of the ceremony to take a walk through our building and see what a fantastic job our school has turned out to be. We have a STEAM lab at the elementary level. We have our hub spaces, media centers, a one-to-one technology for our students. So today you'll have a chance after the ceremony to take a walk through our building and take a look at some of the outstanding aspects that we've added into our new schools that's just helping our students to learn and achieve more when the time comes for that. So again, like I said, I just want to take a moment to thank all of you for being out here today, staff, students, stakeholders. Also, Lynn, thank you. It's been fantastic working with the Poulakidas family on how we want to incorporate it in the school. Lynn's been phenomenal in terms of providing things for the staff before school started and reaching out to them. She's a supporter in terms of what we're looking to do here. Shirley, I've worked with you. Thank you for what you've done as well. So again, just overall, it's a fantastic turnout, and thank you all for what you've done up front. And I'm looking forward to the success that we're going to have here at Nick Poulakidas Elementary. Thank you.
So we're not just building to build. We're actually building for a reason. We're building to make sure that our facilities are some of the best in the nation for our staff and our students. And we have two shining examples for that today. I'd like to welcome Grady Womack, who is a 5th grader here, and then his wonderful, beautiful mom, Chelsey Womack, who is a 2nd grade teacher. So please welcome the Womacks.
Hi, my name is Grady. I'm a 5th grader here at Nick Poulakidas Elementary. I feel honored to be asked up here to speak. I'm both sad and excited. First, sad because I only get one year at this incredible school. However, I'm excited too. The best part of the however, I'm excited too. I get to be a part of the first 5th grade class. I get to be the first one to build memories, sit in those amazing hub spaces, and create and build in the STEAM lab. And of course, use my laptop. Thank you, Mr. Angotti, for allowing me time to speak here today. Also, thank you to these awesome teachers. This is truly an awesome school. I'm having so much fun.
Hi, my name is Chelsey Womack, and I have the privilege of being both a parent and a teacher here at Nick Poulakidas Elementary. I'm a parent of 3 attending this wonderful school, and I feel very honored to speak. With that said, I just want to give a big shout out to Q&D Construction, who we know worked tirelessly from start to finish on this beautiful building behind us. We're so glad it was done on time, and it's so lovely. Also, thank you to the community for approving the WC1 and allowing us to build this amazing school for our teachers and for our amazing students in this community. And thank you, fellow staff. You are all so awesome and amazing, and I'm so glad to be working with all of you. And thank you, Mr. Angotti, for always supporting your staff and your community. Thank you for such an amazing school. Thank you.
So we've heard from our student, we've heard from our staff, but you really can't have a school community without the big P. And I'm talking parents. And in the Washoe County School District, we truly, truly believe very much in parent engagement. And we have two shining examples from the Nick Poulakidas Parent-Teacher Organization today. Please welcome Jennifer Conover and Jessica Wright, who will share some words of wisdom about being a parent at Nick Poulakidas Elementary School.
I'm techie, so I have my speech on here, not on a piece of paper. I'm Jennifer Conover. This is Jessica Wright. We are your PTO co-presidents. We are here to be involved with the staff and the students, and we are having the best time. We are here almost every day, pretty much. I think you guys see us in the halls every day. We would first like to say thank you so much to the Washoe County School District and the board. You guys have been amazing following through with your promises. You completed this amazing building right behind us. It's beautiful. The expansion of DeMonte Ranch High School, the Marcy Hers Middle School, which is still under expansion. Thank you for making it your constant effort to provide the same level of education for all of our families and all of our schools, not just one. Like, we're not, the newest and the best. Every school will get to be the newest and the best, and that's their goal, and it's just amazing that that's their priority. Jessica and I both have students here at Poulakidas ranging from kindergarten, 1st, and 5th grade, so we're across the whole board, so we get to see all the lovely staff. We've had a great first month of school. The building is just incredible. The amount of different spaces in this school is unbelievable. If you do get a chance, please go in, because there's workspaces everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's another spot, and there's staff that are working in the workspaces and parent volunteers who are working in it, and nobody feels like they're on top of each other. Like, you have all this room to move. It's unbelievable. My own son every day wakes up and he's like, "Is it time for school?" And I'm like, "No, it's Saturday." Never has he been that excited. Yes, he's in 1st grade. He still has a long ways to go to eventually realize that school is like school. But he loves it. He loves his teacher. He is absolutely head over heels for her. She's amazing. He's met so many new kids with the combining of the two schools. It's been great. He especially likes to work with his tech device in his classroom. He's very proud of that he has his very own personal iPad. He loves going to the different places, like music room and the library are fun for him. We have had the opportunity to be the first ones, me and Jessica, to work with the staff and do small projects around the school, because this staff is, 1, they're amazing, and 2, they are overworked with all of their things they have to do. So we're trying to take that load off of them for the busy work, making copies, whatever they need. We're their girls. The building is so full of light. Like, when you go in, you'll notice how easy it is to just get around, find where you're going, and that you don't feel like you're in this closed box. You don't feel like you're in a school. You feel like you're in this really nice conference room in a building that's not for school. Thank you for all the teachers who are working so hard together to make this school what it is. You guys work so well together that it doesn't feel like you guys are like competing teachers at all. You're all in it together, and it's amazing. And I know you all get that from Don, because he is amazing, and we feel so privileged that we get to work hand in hand with him. So thank you so much for this amazing school and letting us be a part of it, and we are so grateful that you are all here. Thank you.
So we need to give all of you a round of applause, because we would not be here today without the passage of WC1. And that only not helps us build new school, but as Vice President Raymond said, to invest $40 million a year in making sure that our schools in our core also receive different types of innovation and technology, as well as roofs. We can repair HVAC systems, which we could use right now, but anyways. Finally, so let's give all of us a round of applause for the approval of WC1. And finally, to close us out today, I would like to welcome Trustee Scott Kelly to the stage, the one and the only Trustee Scott Kelly.
You're just clapping because I'm the last speaker. Well, I am really excited about this school. We all know how badly it was needed. These 28 classrooms behind me, 1 STEAM lab, and 3 collaborative learning hubs give us the ability to relieve overcrowding and more options for education. Now, this isn't just a building, it's a space for students to learn and to grow. Poulakidas Elementary, together with Desert Skies Middle School in Sun Valley, and Sky Ranch Middle School in Spanish Springs, which we all opened this year, are now serving over 3,000 students. The rezoning opportunities these schools created, let us relieve overcrowding at 25 schools throughout Washoe County and positively impacted over 15,000 students. Poulakidas allowed Double Diamond Elementary School, right down the street, to come off of multi-track. We removed classrooms from the hallways, and you know how important that was to do. So I want to thank everybody who has made this beautiful school a reality. And as soon as we cut this ribbon, we invite you to join us inside for an open house look at the school. And with that being said, let's get started. So I'd like to invite my fellow trustee, Malena Raymond, to come grab a pair of scissors right here behind the stage, come and take a spot by the ribbon. All of our speakers that were invited to speak today, please come on over, grab some scissors,